Today, I want to deep dive into one of Universal's most popular attractions, as the ride hits its 20-year mark and remains a staple of the Orlando park. We'll explore how it has become a Universal classic attraction and what makes it worthy of such a title. So join me on this ancient journey as we look into Universal Studios' Revenge of the Mummy. For Revenge of the Mummy, I'm strictly covering the Orlando Parks version, as it is the version I've ridden the most and what I feel to be the most cohesive of the three variations. For some context, I want to share some history regarding the attraction's background. The ride is themed after Universal's blockbuster film franchise, The Mummy. No, not that one. There we go. The film starred Brendan Fraser and was released on May 7, 1999. The film grossed over $416.4 million worldwide and would spawn a sequel, The Mummy Returns, becoming another box office hit, grossing $435 million. With the success of The Mummy, Universal had an IP they knew they needed to transition into an attraction at the park. Thus, Revenge of the Mummy was born, taking over what used to be Confrontation, which closed on September 8, 2002. Revenge of the Mummy opened on May 21, 2004, and was marketed as the first psychological thrill ride. The ride was an astounding success for Universal, and 20 years later, is still a guest favorite. For the Orlando Parks version, the story centers around a fictional sequel to The Mummy. TVs displayed in the queue explain how the original Mummy was made, and how the film's fictional curse was proven to be real, with various accidents and plagues striking the cast and crew during filming. All cast and crew are given a Magi symbol necklace to wear for protection on the set of the film, except for Fraser, who's highly skeptical and refuses to wear it. Craft Services refuses to serve him coffee without wearing the Magi symbol.
Ooh, no Magi, no service.
Sorry?
No Magi, no service.
And Fraser eventually steals a crew member's Magi necklace named Reggie, who later injures himself in a freak accident and becomes stuck in a sarcophagus prop. Now that I've discussed some history, let's dive into what makes Revenge of the Mummy unique among other Universal attractions. In a park dominated by screen-based experiences, The Mummy stands out with its extensive use of animatronics and props, apart from the pre-show and ride's ending video. This approach creates a more immersive experience for guests, and the ride's queue is a crucial part of the attraction, featuring impressive theming and interactive areas where guests can scare each other and themselves. It begins with guests walking through the Museum of Antiquities facade, showcasing various movie props. As they progress, the queue transforms into a 1940s archaeological dig site, surprising guests with its tonal shift. The immersion is enhanced by sounds of dirt and rock fall, whispering and chanting, combined with very low lighting and interactive elements, creating an atmosphere reminiscent to that of Halloween Horror Nights. Before delving further, however, I wanted to highlight the three interactive areas within the ride and how they support the attraction in terms of both theming and tone. Firstly, upon entering the archaeological portion of the queue, guests encounter a golden chest with handprints on either side, and a sign that translates the hieroglyphs as evil by one hand, protection by two. When a single hand touches the chest, the lights flicker slightly, and rapid whispering can be heard. Next, shortly after the chest, there is a small stand with a screen and a bright blue scarab beetle. Touching the beetle will cause air to burst from the floor, startling guests as shown on the screen. The final interactive element is in the next room. Filled with hieroglyphics on the ceiling and walls, here a cutout in the wall displays a projection of the artifact Imhotep seeks from the first film. If guests attempt to touch the artifact, air bursts onto their hand and all the lights briefly shut off. Before leaving this room, however, there's a sign that does read Imhotep's burial chamber with a question mark, adding to the sense of uncertainty. Finally, regarding the ride's theming, Revenge of the Mummy boasts one of Universal's most impressive queues. The abundance of props and details, from movie props and old scrolls to washed out hieroglyphics, showcases Universal's ability to create an engaging and distinctive queue that stands out within the park. When it comes to the ride itself, I want to discuss some key moments as we do our walkthrough. With that being said, the ride begins with guests boarding their minecarts and making their way through an ancient Egyptian tomb. Probably Imhotep's, but the ride doesn't specify for the Orlando version. As guests start making their way through, they are greeted by Reggie. However, he's wrapped up and in a sarcophagus like we talked about. is in a panic as well. He begins to warn the guests that they need to get out of here and that the curse is real. And as he is talking, however, Imhotep violently comes out of a sarcophagus, silences Reggie, and takes his soul. Tough break, kid. He gives his James Bond villain plan to guests, explaining that with your souls, I shall rule for all eternity. The ride vehicle then progresses into another room, notably the one shown in all promotions. Here, Imhotep explains to guests, serve me and savor riches beyond measure, or refuse and savor forbidden treasure. Quite the rhymer. As he is speaking, various effects happen, these being smoke, fire, and lighting effects. When explaining serving him, the room will highlight with various gold lighting and smoke effects, and when discussing refusing him, mummy soldiers pop up out of the floor with fire bursting around them, with the only exit being a wall that slowly lowers as the ride vehicle swiftly gets through, only to crash into a wall with tons of scarab beetles emerging from it, with a water droplet effect above the guests, making it feel as if the beetles are falling on them. Once this happens, the ride vehicle flies backwards into a Lazy Susan and spins as Imhotep says to guests, not even the Medjai can save you now, there is no escape, etc. As the ride vehicle climbs towards a giant Imhotep face, before it screams, "The souls are mine!" As guests are fired forward and into a coaster section, with various flashing lights and images. Before coming to what I feel is one of the most interesting parts of the ride, as it makes riders believe for a split second that the ride is over, a woman behind the glass speaks to guests about exiting the vehicle before she is killed and the glass shatters, revealing Imhotep saying to guests, "Prepare to forfeit your souls." As he sets the roof on fire, before plunging guests into darkness and another coaster section, with various flashing lights and images yet again, before slowing down as it approaches a giant Medjai symbol, shining as guests make their way under it. A small ending ride screen with Brendan Fraser plays for guests. Thank you. And with that, the ride ends. There's a lot to unpack here regarding the Revenge of the Mummy attraction, so let's get into it. Let's dive deeper into the psychological elements of the ride. Beyond just tapping into common fears like the dark and insects, Revenge of the Mummy masterfully exploits human instincts and primal fears. The feeling of being trapped in the tight, claustrophobic spaces of the tomb, the eerie sensation of being pursued by Imhotep, and the adrenaline rush of narrowly escaping danger all contribute to an experience that transcends usual entertainment. Moreover, the ride's use of audiovisual effects is nothing short of spectacular. From the ominous whispers echoing through the tomb to the sudden burst of flame that engulfed the surroundings, every detail is meticulously crafted to heighten the sense of unease and excitement. The unexpected drops and twists only add to the thrill, keeping riders constantly on edge and unsure of what to expect next. But perhaps the most captivating aspect of Revenge of the Mummy is its seamless integration of storytelling with action. Guests become active participants in a thrilling narrative as they race through the tomb, facing an ancient evil head-on. This immersive experience challenges riders, creating an exhilarating adventure that stays with them long after the ride ends. In the ever-evolving landscape of theme park attractions, Revenge of the Mummy stands as a timeless classic. Its ability to evoke a wide range of emotions from fear to excitement to awe ensures its enduring appeal. It's no surprise that even after 2 decades, this ride continues to captivate and thrill guests, solidifying its place as one of Universal's most beloved and revered attractions. Revenge of the Mummy has earned its spot as a Universal classic through its timeless appeal, captivating storytelling, and adrenaline-pumping thrills. Its ability to immerse guests is an unforgettable adventure that has made it an iconic and enduring favorite among those who dare. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy theme park content, stick around, as my next video is going to be on E.T. Adventure and its complicated history.